think that's most important. Great way to start the week, right? Um, let's see here. How you doing, brother Sam? How's it going? Shout out to the New England crew. All of a sudden, I find myself thirsty. So I want to be able to share this video with a few people, and so that, hey, what's up, Cloak? Okay. Yeah. So we're all also broadcasting live on Periscope, on my Facebook fan page, and where else? And on YouTube. So if you follow me on any of these platforms, you'll see me. So yeah, so I wanted to give a few people an opportunity to come on, no matter what platform you're on. Give you an opportunity to come on so that I can talk about a few things, because there's a lot going on, and we have a big event going on tomorrow night on Facebook, and wanted to remind everyone. You know, the reminder is on my Facebook wall. So if you haven't seen it, it's an event. It's my Facebook picture, if you will. So I want to invite everybody. It's a very, very important conversation that we want to have tomorrow, but it's also important for me as an artist, that I'm premiering. I'm doing a world premiere of my next music video, and it's called SOS 2020. And I'm premiering that tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, on Facebook Live. And it's my main page on Facebook Live. So there's no confusion. The Bridget Series James page on Facebook, that's where we'll be premiering SOS 2020, 7 p.m. sharp, because I don't play around with time. So at 7 p.m., we're starting the event, the live on Facebook. And shortly after I introduce myself and introduce my guests, the panel folks, I will be premiering that video. So then you guys will see the video, and right after the video, we will go into a panel discussion. I have some very prominent people who will be taking part in the discussion, and I think it's pretty dope, and they've decided to join in to give their opinions and their observations, which I think is pretty amazing. I just want to run down really quick some of the people who will be taking part. How you doing, Darian Favors? How are you today? Some of these people, I'm going to name them, that will be a part of the discussion tomorrow night right here on Facebook. We have New York City actor Frank Bionda, and Frank plays a police officer in the SOS 2020 music video. We have EDM singer Latita Martin. We have Dr. Nicole B. Simpson, founder, pastor, Harvest Wealth Financial and Micah 7 Ministries. We have Lynette Battle, deputy director of Bed-Stuy Bid. She's a community activist. We also have Aisha Sekou, founder, CEO of Street Corner Resources out of Harlem. So that's a pretty heavy panel that we have. Let's see, 5 people. And so it's going to be exciting. And I'm so looking forward to it. And I think that you guys, please do put it on your calendar for tomorrow. If you're planning anything, plan to be on here on Facebook to check it out. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be great. Let's see if we can share this video with a few people now, so they know that I'm on, so we can talk about this. And let's see, just as reminders to a few folks. I know a lot of people are tired right now. It's been a long day. I get it. I know you guys have had a lot going on, as most people do. Most people are, after church on a Sunday, they just want to veg out. They just want to not do anything at all. They want to sleep or take, a little nap or whatever, or do a lot of cooking for the week or whatever folks do. Sometimes I engage in that too. You prepare a bunch of meals so that you don't have to do it during the week. That's just speaking as a person who has a family. A lot of people, I know that you guys are watching. Hi, Sister Maureen. Maureen, all the way from France. How are you? I hope you can come on tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. and check out the premiere of my next music video and engage in the panel discussion that we'll be having. Let's see if we can bring you on camera here and chop it up with you. Come on with me, Sister Maureen. Let's chop it up a little bit. Oh, I guess she's not available. That's fine. So like I was saying, we have a bunch of people who will be coming on tomorrow. And I'm super excited about that. So let's see if I can play a little bit of the instrumental for you guys from SOS. SOS. Hold on one sec. Okay. Instrumental. Okay, here's a little bit of the instrumental. Just a little bit. I'll play that in the backdrop there. So it's a very, very important conversation because a lot of people have been talking about, Black Lives Matter, BLM. A lot of people have been talking about the injustice about everything that's been going on, the injustice, and just it's sad. There's a lot of emotions that come from thinking about what happened to Breonna Taylor, thinking about what happened to Floyd, thinking about way back a few years ago what happened to Sandra Bland. And we could go on and on. There's so many things that we can say, but I don't want to incite any kind of activity outside of having a fruitful conversation, a friendly conversation. I think that as grown people, we can get together on social media and talk intelligently and talk respectfully with each other and put our opinions out there in a respectful way versus being loud, condescending, disrespectful, and all that stuff. It gets us nowhere, to be honest. It gets us nowhere. So tomorrow night at 7 p.m. right here on Facebook Live on my page, Bridget Sirius James, the one that you're looking on right now, I have this panel discussion, and we also have the world premiere. It's going to be the world premiere of SOS 2020. And I have a very distinguished panel, and that's my reason for coming on. Just to remind you guys, I know you guys are busy, but I do want to put it out there and remind you guys that we need to continue to have these discussions. We need to continue to learn from each other. We rarely talk about police brutality from the perspective of the Black woman. How is the Black woman being affected? I'm a Black woman. I'm married to a Black man. I have a Black son. A lot of people don't like it when I talk like this, but this is a reality. I can't run away from the fact that I am Black. I can't run away from the fact that when I turn the TV on or I read the newspaper, a lot of times I'd say more than, not, a lot of things that we hear about our people, it's very disparaging. You don't hear, people don't publicize good news. That's the bottom line. They don't publicize good news. Good news doesn't sell. As a person who works in media, good news does not sell. And there's no one out there that will tell you that good news sells, because it doesn't. People like, drug, sex, and rock and roll. They like heartbreak. They like negative news. And sometimes we got to pause from the negative news and say, how can we live better? How can we improve upon certain things that have been going on? I had a conversation with a bunch of folks recently, and we're talking about, people hate so many things that's going on in this country and this, that, and the third. And there's one thing that just doesn't go away: police brutality. Black men dying, Black women dying. And it's crazy. It's crazy. We can't run away from it. 5, 6 years ago, I wrote a song called SOS, Save Our Souls. And tomorrow we're releasing the music video for it. We're premiering it right here on Facebook. And it's sad to say that we have to come back to this again. It's unfortunate that we have to consistently talk about it. It's unfortunate that when I turn the TV on, at least once a month, oh, another black man or a black woman just got shot. Oh, this person was jogging in their community and so happened to them. They're not here anymore. It's so, how do I put it over? It hurts my heart. I don't know how else to say it. It really hurts my heart. And so I just want to have a conversation. And the folks who will be a part of this panel, they've agreed to engage in the conversation. They've agreed to give their perspective. And it's not just opinion, it's their perspective. You have a community organizer by the name of Aisha Sekou. She's the founder and CEO of Street Corner Resources. She was recently on Fox 5 with Lisa Evers talking about the work that she's doing in the New York City area. And it's sad because every time someone gets shot and killed, she has to be on the scene. Her team is on the scene. And it's sad, and they've got to look at the response of the mother, the father, the sister, the brother. And then we have Frank Bionda, who's a Caucasian actor based here in New York, and he's going to be giving his take as well. And I like the fact that he has his own stance on this whole situation that's going on in our country. And he wants to make it clear. And so we have him on here. And no, we're not having a conversation with loud black people who are going to be screaming and all that. No. It's going to be very professional. We are going to listen to each other. We are going to put our thoughts out there. And we also have Lynette Battle, who is the Deputy Director of Bed-Stuy BID from Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy. Hello. She's going to be on. Shout out to all the folks that are on right now. Thank you for stopping by. Hi, Lisa. We also have Dr. Nicole B. Simpson. She's a pastor out in New Jersey, and she is the founder of Micah 7 Ministries and Harvest Wealth Financial. So from the financial perspective, she is an African-American female, and she's coming from the financial perspective. She is also the mother of black children, of a black young man and a black young girl, and a young lady, I should say, excuse me. And she's bringing her perspective as a mother. Latita's also bringing her perspective as an African-American woman. And so, and obviously I'm on there, but I'm the host, and well, you guys know my story. I don't have to go into it with you. I am an African-American woman. I am married to an African-American man. I do have an African-American son. So it's important to me that he knows how to operate out there in the world. We don't want to leave our children in a place where they're so sheltered, they're afraid to experience what's going on in the world, because the world will eat them up like wolves if we don't prepare them. And I've been saying this over and over again. We can't shelter our kids. We can't just say, hey, honey, come, I'm going to do this for you. And you pat them on the back and we just think everything is hunky-dory. They turn 18, 19, 20. They leave the home and something crazy happens in the world. They don't know how to respond. If you're African-American, are you telling your kids how to respond if they get pulled over? How would they respond? Do you know? That's another question. And I hope that we are engaging in these conversations on a regular basis in our homes, not just when something crazy happens like a George Floyd or a Breonna Taylor, and then we're like, oh my God, I need to talk to Johnny, or oh my God, I need to talk to Susie. No, we cannot wait for the media to showcase these things. We have to engage in these conversations. Just like how we're at the dinner table every night, we talk scriptures as Christian people. A lot of times I'll bring up a scripture because my son is there. It's a great time to get him engaged in the scriptures, and I'll often bring up the scriptures. And just the other day, we talked about the life of Joseph. This was just a week ago. I had him studying the life of Joseph, my 12-year-old. But just like how we bring up the scriptures, we also need to bring up real life things that are going on in our world. We cannot have our children being ignorant to what's going on, because the moment they leave your home, it's a completely different world out there. There are Caucasian people, there are Asian people, there are Hispanic people, there are all kinds of people in this world, and our children need to know how to deal with people of different persuasions, different ethnicities, different temperaments. That's another thing. And your child can't just wild out and just be, everything can't be, well, because I'm black, that's why. No, it's not always because you're black. And so engaging in these conversations at home are very, very helpful. How you doing, DJ Arad? Thanks for stopping by. So I encourage you guys to join me tomorrow night right here on Facebook. And it's going to be a lively conversation. Come with some questions, you know, come with your thoughts, your opinions about the Black woman's perspective. And that's what we're presenting tomorrow at 7 p.m. right here on Facebook, the Black woman's perspective. You know, oftentimes we hear everybody else's perspective is being discussed. But we're the Black woman, for some reason, our perspective gets buried. It doesn't even get showcased, highlighted, whatever way you want to put it. And so we're premiering my SOS 2020 music video first, and then we will engage in the conversation. I hope that you guys will join me again. It's 7 p.m. tomorrow evening. That's 6 p.m. Central Time, if you can, please. And, you know, I don't often come on Facebook and talk about a bunch of nonsense and just stuff that has no meaning, no value, whatever. You guys know that when I come on, it's something important. It's something of relevance, and it affects all of us. This is not just about me. And that's why I've been able to approach these folks, and they've agreed to take part in this conversation because it's much needed. It's a very much needed conversation. How you doing, Wilson Burns? I'm inviting you to my panel discussion tomorrow night. It's the world premiere of my SOS 2020 music video and also panel discussion. And we will be looking at the effects of Black women, police brutality, and how it affects Black women. You know, how do we feel about it? And so we'll be talking about that, because a lot of times, and I've heard story after story, Black women, their men or their sons or daughters leave home, and after a certain time, they're looking at the clock, and then their heart starts to race because they feel, oh my God, well, what if another George Floyd happens? What if another Ahmaud Arbery happens? You know, what if another Breonna Taylor happens? So it's a lot of tension, and I don't think that people of other ethnicities will truly understand how we feel and what we're going through unless we consistently engage in this dialogue. We have to keep the dialogue going in a respectful manner, I believe. It doesn't have to be a yelling match. It doesn't have to be, oh, well, you know, they say this and da 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 da. We don't have to go about it in such a manner. We can go about it in a very professional manner, and we open the conversation to everyone. So it's not a black-white thing, it's an everyone thing. Open the conversation, and that's what we're doing tomorrow. I'm opening the conversation, I'm opening the table so that we can all come together and discuss this thing from the Black woman's perspective, because you guys have heard everyone else's perspective. You've heard the news's perspective, you've heard the reporter's perspective, you've heard, you know, just about everybody's perspective, but nobody has really heard the voice of the Black woman. And so I have people who are community activists, people who are in the entertainment industry, people who are in pastoral ministry, who understands the pain, because a lot of pastors at midnight, at 3 a.m., they get calls from women, from men whose child has gotten shot or whose husband's gotten shot. They get these phone calls, or who's gotten arrested because they did nothing wrong. All they did was be Black. And it's a horrible thing. And these pastors have to deal with this. They get the phone calls, and it's like, okay, you've got to go to Rikers to get someone out who you know is an upstanding citizen, and all they've done is just be Black. And I hate to put it over that way, but that is real talk. That's the real deal. I have a lot of Caucasian friends, and I have a lot of Asian friends. I have a lot of Puerto Rican friends. You know, I have a lot of African, like real folks from Africa. I have a lot of African friends. I'm not just talking African Americans. And obviously, I have African American friends. And I have nothing against anyone of any ethnicity, of any race, any color, any creed, you know, any your financial status. I don't have anything against you. What I am saying is, and why we're doing this tomorrow night at 7 p.m. right here on Facebook, is that we need to continue the dialogue. There has to be solid conversations where we say, this is how we feel about this. They say, oh, really? Why do you feel that way? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I feel like a lot of times people don't understand us because they haven't been given the opportunity to. All they see is what they see in the movies, like, you know, the thuggish movies that we have out, and they're great. But we need more positive programming out there and positive coverage about Black people, because not all Black people are thugs. Not all Black people are drug dealers. Not all Black people, you know, don't understand the English language or have not gone to college. Contrary to popular belief, a lot of us have degrees. A lot of us, and like I say in the song that I'm releasing tomorrow, through the video, and also on the 6th through a project called It Starts Now by Mr. L and a bunch of other artists. What I say in the SOS 2020 song is, we get degrees, speak how y'all speak, but you still murder, murder, kill, kill, we. Now, why is that? Can someone answer that question for me? So there's a lot of African Americans who were law-abiding citizens, college graduates. They go through, you know, certain things. They do everything right. They dot every I and cross every T. And yet one day you decide to go out for a jog and you get murdered. One day you're in your house and a bunch of cops come and shoot up your house and kill you. One day you could be driving on a college campus in your car, you forget to signal, which is what they say, and you get pulled over, and next thing you know, they claim you hung yourself in the jail. How do these things happen? How do these things happen? I'm not here to incite any kind of negative situation or whatever. I'm not saying hate white people. I'm not about that, because I love white people. I love people of all ethnicities. And you guys know this. Those of you on there that know me, you know, I work with all kinds of people and I love everyone. But we have to have these conversations on a consistent basis, because it's getting crazy. And what I feel is that when people don't understand a certain group of people, when they don't understand how you live or why you behave the way you do, they tend to become fearful. And that's when they run for the gun, they run for the bat, they wanna take you out because they fear for their lives. Why do certain people fear being around Black people? Because of that lack of exposure, that lack of conversation or dialogue. We need to have the dialogues. We need to have the conversation. Okay? And this is what we're doing tomorrow night. How you doing? Good evening, Gwendolyn Johnson. Thank you for sharing, Wilson Burns. We need to have these conversations. And so that's why we're doing the world premiere and panel discussion called SOS 2020 tomorrow night. And so you'll get to see the music video that a bunch of us have gotten together, and we've orchestrated it, and we made sure this video was done right. And you will be seeing it for the very first time right here on Facebook. We're premiering it tomorrow night, 7 p.m. on Facebook, Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central Time, right here on Facebook. The video is literally 2 minutes and 44 seconds long, which means if you've got 2 minutes and 44 seconds tomorrow night at 7 p.m., you can come and check out the video. And then you can critique the video right here on Facebook Live and let us know what you think. Let us know if you agree or disagree with the depiction that we have in the video. Then you can join in on the panel discussion, because we have some very important, prominent people who are based here in New York City, in North Carolina, Harlem, Brooklyn, New Jersey, Manhattan, who will be a part of the discussion, and you can even, respond to what they have to say from the perspective of the Black woman. Again, and you guys have probably seen her on Fox 5 on Street Soldiers with Lisa Evans, the founder and CEO of Street Corner Resources. Aisha Sekou will be right here on the panel. We have Deputy Director of Bed-Stuy BID, community activist Lynette Battle. We have Dr. Nicole B. Simpson, founder, pastor of Harvest Wealth Financial and Micah 7 Ministry. We have EDM award-winning artist Latita Martin. We have actor Frank Deonda, who will be here to give his take as a Caucasian actor, to give his take on being a cop, playing the role of a cop in the music video that we will premiere tomorrow night. So you guys have an opportunity to engage in a conversation that needs to be had, that needs to continue. We need to continue these conversations. We need to have more of them. And so we're going to have the first part one, because I have a bunch of other people who want to take part in this conversation. So it's likely to be a part two in a couple of weeks. And so coming up tomorrow night, 7 p.m., make sure you put it on your calendar and on your Google Calendar so you're reminded to jump on Facebook Live and check us out tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Facebook, it'll be broadcast on Facebook and also on YouTube, Serious Voice TV on YouTube. On Facebook, it's facebook.com, Bridget Serious James. Very easy. Bridget Serious James. Okay, I'm not taking you to any weird fan page or any weird, off the wall page. Right here on Facebook, you'll be able to check it out, and we can move forward from there, because this is a conversation that we need to continue to have. And also, I have a little announcement tomorrow that I will make on the panel. For those of you that follow me on Instagram, I think I spend more time on Instagram than on any other social media platform. So if you guys were on yesterday and you saw me post a video in a studio, we have some dope things coming up, and I'm super excited because for a number of weeks, because of COVID, we were forced to do a lot of interviews on Instagram, IGTV. And it was a program that I constructed, and it was called Success Stories during COVID. And so I've been interviewing a bunch of successful people in different industries, in music, in politics, just different sectors. So we weren't, discriminating. Everybody got an opportunity. Successful people got an opportunity to come on, and I interviewed them and showcased what they were doing. And we even had one program where we gave out a bunch of information on how creatives, you don't have to be a rapper or singer or producer, but creatives can get grants through their local governments. So you can go right now and check out my Instagram. But that program that I've been doing for several weeks on Instagram has morphed into something so much more. And so I'll be making some announcements right after the panel discussion, right on Facebook. So you got to come through to hear about everything. But more so, I think that this is important, that we have this conversation tomorrow. And these prominent people in New York City, in South Carolina, are taking their time out to share, not just with myself, but with you. So if you have 5 minutes, 2.5 minutes for the music video, and to just hear what some of us have to say, just come and join us. Even if you have 10 minutes tomorrow night at 7 p.m., come on and join us and check it out. You can do so anonymously, because we're not just going to be on Facebook. We're also going to be on YouTube, Serious Voice TV on YouTube. And then portions of it we'll upload to Instagram shortly after. But listen, this is I know that if you're not African American, then if you have a heart, if you have a conscience, you have to say to yourself, I don't like what's going on with folks in the African American community. I don't like the fact that a lot of these people are dying. And you have to feel some type of way, because we're all humans. If I walk down the street in my community where I am right now, and I see anyone hurting down on the street, a child, bruised, crying, I'll say, hey, are you okay? So and that's just a human thing. That's a human thing. If you have a heart, You have to feel some type of way. But I find that a lot of people are just oblivious. They just like, I don't know. I just I can't even explain. I can't explain for anyone else, but I don't personally know or didn't personally know Breonna Taylor or her family, but I felt broken. My heart was so broken. I went and I did a couple of Instagram concerts. And if you guys follow me, you know I did that over the summer. And I went as far as contacting the governor's office. Excuse me. I contacted the governor's office, and I'll tell you what happened. I got voicemail, and then I contacted the director of communications at the Kentucky governor's office. And guess what I got? Voicemail. And I decided to call back the director of communications, and I left a lengthy message with my legal name, my phone number, my credentials, all of that. I never got a phone call back. I live in New York City. What I'm trying to say is, I'm a human being and I care about human beings. Human beings care about each other. If a dog sees another dog hurting, they're going to run to that dog and try to help it. So, why would a human being see other human beings getting shot and killed for no reason? Like, when people engage in illegal, I'll just put it this way: when someone engages in illegal activity, right, what happens? It's likely they'll get arrested. Why is it that African Americans are always getting shot and killed? That's a question I'm going to put out there. When people of other ethnicities engage in illegal activity, they don't get shot and killed. They get arrested and taken to jail, and then, someone posts the bail, etc., etc. But more often, what happens? Folks that have my skin color, lighter, darker, we get arrested, we then get shot, all this crazy stuff happens. Why? I have to ask why. And I know that you guys don't have the answers. I don't have the answers either. But what I'm saying is, as human beings, this is not the way we should treat each other. This is not the way we should treat each other. If I see a white man out on the street hurting, I'm going to ask him, hey, could I help you with something? Are you okay? I don't care if he's white, black, Asian, whatever. I'm going to say, are you okay? I've had men ask me a lot of times, are you okay? And I'll say, thank you. I'm well, thanks. And it depends on the time of the day, too, because I'm trying to protect myself as a woman. But it's human nature to care about each other. It's animal nature to even care about each other. So I say to myself, why is it that Black people are not just being arrested, taken to jail, and then they have to deal with getting an attorney, posting bail, et cetera, instead of us supposedly being found doing illegal activity, right? We get shot, we get all this stuff happens. And I'm like, why is this? Because if this person was of another race, they'd just be arrested and taken to jail. And they're still alive today. We've lost so many people, minus COVID. Forget about COVID, forget about recession, forget about diabetes, heart, high blood pressure, and all this other stuff that our community tends to suffer from. Let's just focus on suffering from the situation that we're talking about right now. Why is it that we're not just being arrested, you're handcuffed, taken to the precinct, and you go through the system? People are dying. One of my brothers said endangered species. What do you guys think? I want you to come with your questions and with your thoughts and your responses tomorrow. Come ready to engage, because it's going to be, one, very respectful. Two, everyone's going to have an opportunity to give their thoughts and opinions from their perspective. Like I said, the Black woman's perspective. We also have a Caucasian actor who will be a part of the discussion, Frank Deonda, tomorrow. So come ready to talk in a respectful, friendly manner. Unfortunately, I know a lot of people are still angry. A lot of people are still angry about what happened. I'm a little bit still shaken by the situation. However, we need to have these conversations. We need to engage in these conversations to move forward. And so there's a lot of people still in Kentucky protesting, a lot of people still in various areas protesting in New York City, on Long Island, different parts of the country. And I applaud them because a lot of people have taken time away from their families, taken time away from their employment situation to do the human thing. Okay. And I'm playing my part in creating these conversations so that we can have them. And so I encourage you, if you care about the human race, if you care about everybody and not just one group of people, join me tomorrow night right here on Facebook. It's going to be very easy to join, okay? Right here on my main page. If you're watching me on Instagram or Twitter or Periscope, whatever the case might be sure to join me on Facebook, facebook.com/Bridget Sirius James. And my name is actually pronounced Brigitte. So there's no D. There's no D and J and all that crazy stuff. It's Brigitte. It's French. It's Brigitte. Sirius, Serious James. Okay, very easy. And here you learn something new about me, that my name is French. And you learn, and a lot of people didn't know my first name was Brigitte. But now you know, for those of you watching on Twitter and on Instagram. So I just gave you my government name. Hopefully you don't do anything crazy. Because these days people are getting scammed left and right. But yeah, it's it's a crazy conversation. We gotta engage in it. I really hope that you guys would come through, check it out. It's gonna be fun too, because it's been a while since I've released a video, and COVID came, and COVID interrupted a lot of people's plans and campaigns, and COVID stole the bag from a lot of people. I just put it that way, if I can, if you guys will allow me to. COVID stole a lot of money from a lot of us creatives. A lot of people I know, including myself, we had invested in tours we planned to do throughout the summer, and that it went straight to, but it's all good. It's all good. We're surviving and we're moving forward. And I think that it will be great if you guys would join me tomorrow night. I talked a whole lot. I need to take a sip of this water because my throat is starting to. But let me know. Just inbox me if you have any questions. If you feel like this is just a waste of time, let me know that too. But I feel like the more we have conversations about these touchy subjects, the easier it is to understand Black people. I think America still does not understand Black people. And I'm going to go into this tomorrow, why I'm saying this right now. I'll explain tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. right here on Facebook. But I want you guys to have a blessed rest of the evening, and join me tomorrow. Come with your questions. Come with an open mind to just hear the panelists out. And while you're watching the video, also have an open mind. Understand the perspective of the other person. And I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll be able to understand a little bit more once you see the video, once you hear the panelists. So again, it's tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook Live. We're doing the world premiere of SOS 2020 by Serious Voice. And we're also engaging in a panel discussion. And I think that it's the right time. I think that, we need to have more of these. All right. And I'm simply playing my part. I'm using my platform. So that's it pretty much. So I invite all of you guys that watch this, to see this on the repeat, to come through tomorrow night, which is October 5th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Facebook. You guys have a great evening. And to my amazing to the amazing folks on Periscope, Twitter, and YouTube, you guys have a great evening, and thank you for stopping by and checking this out. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. on Facebook, facebook.com/Bridget Serious James. God bless.